Hey, this is Ernie from Twisted Throttle. A tank bag is a great addition to any motorcycle, and with SW-MOTECH's Quick Lock tank bag system, there are no straps or magnets that can mess up your paint. And best of all, it's easy to remove. So we're going to show you how easy it is to put one of these guys on, and let's get started. All right, to install the top ring and the tank bag on this motorcycle, we're going to need to do a few things. First, we'll secure the bike, read the instructions, make sure we have all the parts. Then we're going to get our tools ready. For the tank ring, we're going to need a hex wrench to take some of these bolts out of the tank filler cap and some thread locker. For the tank bag, we're going to need a power drill, we're going to need a block of wood, and we're going to need some tape. So we're going to start with getting ready to put the tank ring on. Some SW-MOTECH tank rings require assembly before they go on the bike, others don't. This one does, so we'll start with that. The first thing we want to do is we want to orient the tank ring and the tank ring mount ring and make sure they're both facing up. You can tell that by the indents for the bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these around now, place them where they're going to go. Take the appropriate bolts, put some thread locker in. So SW-MOTECH recommends using medium strength thread locker on all their applications for this assembly. We've gone ahead and we've prepped the bolts with thread locker already, and we're going to go ahead and start to install this tank ring. Now SW-MOTECH recommends using a torque wrench and setting the torque to 40 inch-pounds. We don't have a torque wrench that goes down that low, and not many people do, so we're going to give you a little tips on how to make sure that you use the right amount of torque without over-tightening these. And that's the key, we don't want to over-tighten these. What we're going to want to do is when we get down to the end where the bolt's starting to get tight, we're going to just hold the wrench at the tip with a couple fingers and just give it a little bit of a tightness there without over tightening it. So we've got the tank ring mounted on the motorcycle. Our next step is to put the tank bag together and get that on the bike as well. I'm going to take a second here to show you how the SW-MOTECH Quick Lock tank ring system works. SW-MOTECH uses a tank ring that affixes to the bike, and we've got the top ring that affixes to the tank bag, and that has 4 clasping hooks that grab onto the tank ring and a release cable to go ahead and take that off. So it's as simple as popping the tank ring on the motorcycle, pulling on the cable to release it. Is that really that easy? Our next step is to go ahead and line up the tank bag where we want it on the motorcycle, drill it out, and then mount the top ring to the tank bag. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this lanyard onto the tank ring first. It's just going to make things a little bit easier for us because we're going to have to release this tab with the tank bag on the bike. So I'm using a cow hitch there. That's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and line up the tank bag in a position. What I want to do is I want it to have it as far forward as I can without it interfering with the handlebars or any of the controls, on full lock side to side. That looks good. I'm going to pull on the release tab. I'm going to hold the upper ring to the tank bag while I'm positioning off the bike. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. SW-MOTECH supplies a drill bit and a hex key and a template for this application. The template's got several holes in it, 4 holes for mounting. We've got an extra hole here for an electric cable pass-through if you wanted to use that, and another one for the anti-theft device in case you wanted to go with that option. Next thing we're going to need to do is prep the bag for drilling. So we've already got our spot lined up for where we're going to be placing the template. Next thing I need to do is get the inside of the bag ready. So there's a flap on this bag that I want to get out of the way so it doesn't get, I don't want to drill through that. So I'm going to go ahead and tape those up out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and place my block of wood inside the bag now. I've got a 4x4 piece of scrap wood, and that kind of fits in here perfectly. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the entire bag assembly upside down. And be in position to drill. So I want to position my template with the visible side facing me. Put that in place. Now carefully, using my drill bit, I want to drill out these 4 holes without moving this template. So I'm going to clean up my debris. Okay, we've got these 4 holes drilled now, and we're ready to mount the upper ring to the tank bag. Okay, so our next step is to actually attach the top ring to the bag. So we're going to use the holes that we drilled as well as the marks we made from our template to place the top ring in the correct orientation on the bottom of the bag. And turn that over, we can see how the bolts all line up to the holes. The holes all set up, ready to go. And so I'm going to use my 4 bolts that are supplied with some thread locker. I'm going to go ahead and start these. And they've got a supplied hex key here that I'm going to go ahead and tighten these guys up with. We removed the tape, we've put the flaps back where they belong and cleaned out the bag. There's one more step we have before we put this tank bag on the bike for a final fit, and that is to clip this little lanyard onto the front of the bag like that. Go ahead and line this up, and we're going to check full lock side to side again for any clearance issues. You don't see any, and so I'm going to go ahead and test it. The removal on it comes off nice and easy, and that's it. For a full line of SW-MOTECH Quick Lock tank bags, visit TwistedThrottle.com before your next ride.